these are the 11.4 notes for Algebra 2. We're going to talk about using both formulas on the front side, determining which is which. And then on the back side, we're going to do some missing terms. So for these, you're going to first decide whether each one is arithmetic or geometric. So for example number 1, the first 3 terms are given. We want to round to the nearest thousandths place if necessary. So I notice at 142 to 139 to 136, it looks like it's jumping at a consistent rate of 3. So I think it's going to be arithmetic. I'm going to do 139 minus 142, the second term minus the first, to help me find the common difference of negative 3. And then just make sure that each time that you're adding negative 3, that looks like that pattern works out. And then in order to find the 30th term, you're going to use the arithmetic sequence for this one, formula. A sub 30 equals, first term is A sub 1, 30 is your n, and common difference of negative 3. We'll go ahead and type that into our calculator exactly as we see it. So 142 plus, use a parenthesis, and then another parenthesis in, and make sure you use the negative button, and enter to get an answer of 55. All right, for example number 2, we've got 3, 6, 12. So I notice that from 3 to 6, that looks like I'm adding 3. But when I go from 6 to 12, that's more than adding 3. So that means this one must be geometric. In order to find the common ratio, second term divided by the first to get me 2. So let's just go back up to the list, make sure that actually works. 3 times 2 is 6. 6 times 2 is 12. And then I'll use the geometric formula. This will be my A sub 1. That'll be my n. Three times the common ratio and 19 minus 1. I'll type that into the calculator. 3 times, use the parenthesis, use the exponent button, which is right here underneath the clear button, and then 19 minus 1. You do get a pretty large number. That's okay for geometric. A lot of times those numbers are going to get pretty large or very small decimal. All right, moving forward, example number 3. This one to me looks like I'm subtracting or adding 8 each time. Looks like there's a jump of 8. So that means that one's going to be arithmetic. Common difference will be negative 41 minus negative 49, which will give me an answer of positive 8. If you notice, the numbers are getting larger, getting closer towards 0. All right, see if you can pause the video, plug in the numbers into the equation, and then plug them into your calculator. And if you feel good about this, go ahead and move on through 4, 5 on your own, and then just play the video back. I'll do these 3 problems pretty quickly, and then you can check your work. All right, hopefully you've had a chance to try these. I'll set it up so you can make sure that you've done it correctly. And then into the calculator would be an answer of 127. Example number 4, you should have 4 times 2.5 to the 7 minus 1, and that would be done by doing 10 divided by 4 to get 2.5. Type it into your calculator to get 976.563. For example number 5, this is another geometric. So we're going to do the second term divided by the first term. That's going to get you 0.25. And as you plug that into your calculator, remembering you can pause the video anytime you need. All right, you should have gotten 0.012 for that one. And I rounded to the nearest thousandths place, which is 3 decimals. On the back side, they're going to tell us whether it's arithmetic or geometric, and our goal is to find the common difference. So it tells me the first term is equal to 7, so that's equal to 7, and the fourth term, so first, second, third, fourth term is equal to 16. Which number represents the common difference? So they're asking, if I add 2 every time, will I be able to get all the way up to 16? So here's what you're doing either on your paper or in your head. Let's check D equals 2. Let's see, we'd have 7. The next one, add 2 to it to be 9. Add 2 again to get 11. Add 2 again to get 13. That's obviously not 16. So 2 is not the correct answer. And then you try it again with 3. And you can usually just use your calculator for this if you don't want to write everything out. Add 3 to make 10, add 3 to make 13, add 3 to make 16, and yes, that one works. So my common difference is 3. Go ahead and try example number 7. I'll help you set it up. You've got your first term is 15, and then the fifth term, 2, 3, 4, 5, fifth term is 43. It's still arithmetic, so you know you're adding. Maybe you're adding 1, maybe you're adding 3, maybe 5, maybe 7. Your job is to figure out what number you're adding of those 4 options to get you to 43 exactly. The correct answer here should be D equals 7. If you add 15 plus 7, get 22, add 7 again, 29, add 7 again, 36, and add 7 one more time to get 43. All right, example number 8, now we're switching over to geometric. So now you're thinking multiplication. Your first term, they tell us, is 5, and the third term is equal to 45. So this one's pretty short, so let's see which of these numbers work. If I multiply by 0, will I eventually get to 45? No. 5 times 0 is 0, and then 0 times 0 is always going to be 0. What about 1? If I multiply 5 times 1, I get 5, but then I just keep getting 5. 2. If I multiplied 5 by 2, I would come up with 5, then 10, and then I multiply by 2 again to get 20. And remember, my goal is to have that number be 45. So 2 doesn't work. That means 3 must work. Let's go ahead and check it. 5 times 3 is 15, and 15 times 3, yep, that's 45. Pause the video, try example number 9. Make sure you understand how to work through that. All right, hopefully you were able to pause it and give it a try. Your first term is 2, and then they want the fifth term. They give you the fifth term is 512. So if I multiply by 2, let's see what it takes me. Multiply by 2, multiply by 2, multiply by 2, multiply by 2. Nope. All right, let's try multiplying by 3. Times 3, 6. Times 3, 18. 18 times 3, 54. 54 times 3, 162. That's still not 512, so that's not what I'm looking for. So it's definitely not that one, definitely not that one. All right, let's try 4. Let's multiply by 4. So I get 8. Multiply by 4, 32. Multiply by 4, 128. And times that by 4, 512. There it is, which means my answer is R equals 4.